like a highlight of the stream. There we go. All right, we're officially here. I left the Donut County thing going for a little bit. So, I hope you don't mind, but I'm just gonna start over from the beginning because I didn't get to appreciate any of that. I was cleaning. But we're at stay in school, so we got 12 word searches. I ended up fucking around quite a bit, so I apologize for that. But I'm gonna try my best to not take too long. But it'll be all right. I'm just doing Anarchy Rules with Spike Dudley after, and we're gonna do another word search by POWGI. All right, computing dance. Yeah. We got dance, we got drama up over here. Ecology. Geography. Alright, geography. Man, my brain is like a complete blank right now. I don't even know what to talk about, but I guess this is just all classes that you would take. Yeah, history, literature. I'm also so full. I don't know. That's the thing about, I was talking earlier about chain restaurants, pizza chain restaurants, and I find that the cheaper pizzas, like even though you're ordering a large, it's like you're still getting a pretty small pizza, like comparatively to like if you get a large from like, I don't know, there's like a place called Andiamo's here, and their large is huge. Like I would eat like maybe three slices of pizza from their large, and like I am full. Like I am so full. And then I can crush a fucking large pizza from Domino's. And you know what? I'm a little uncomfortably full right now, but I will be fine. As I was saying, like a medium from there would probably be perfect. Like the perfect personal pizza, like a medium. And I think it has a lot to do with like how much cheese they put on, and like how thick their crust is, stuff like that. How generous they are with their toppings. Just like the little things. And the only issue is their medium is more like, their medium is like a $20 pizza. It's the scale. The scale is so much bigger with some of the like independently owned pizza places, is that they scale from like, you know, their medium being or their small being like a $12 to $15 pizza, and then their medium is somewhere around 20 to 25. And then their large is like almost like it's above 30 now. It's just wow. And with the chain places, like, you know, it's their extra large that might be 20. I know Gabriel's is a little bit more. Gabriel's is like one of those weird chains where it's like they're a chain restaurant, but like their prices aren't like a chain restaurant. Actually, Pizza Hut has been like that too. I've seen like the Pizza Hut prices have been getting up quite a bit. was it Little Caesars, if you don't get like the $5 walk-in one, or I guess it's not $5 anymore, whatever it is now, the hot and ready, like if you're actually just getting like a pizza, like it can be quite a bit. Sometimes there's like deals, like walk-in deals, like that's one thing that I miss, is like walk-in deals. Alright, we got equation, we got expression, so these are all mathematical words. We got formula, we got fraction, crossing the formula. We have geometry, I swear I saw that, yeah, it was right in the middle. And graph, multiply, oh, we got negative, I see it right here. We have number, Rebmun. Going backwards, we got polygon, see if we can find a Y. There it is. There we go, radius. There we go, and rule. There it is. And subtract. Subtract. There we go. It's weird. Only the A was out in the open. A lot of the times it's, I mean, there's always at least one letter that's out in the open, like unclaimed. But it makes it really hard to find when it's only one letter that's like not claimed. You know what's odd? Every other number. That's funny. Yeah. Alright, we got in your backpack. So these are things that you're going to find in your backpack. Calculator. See a calendar. Who's keeping a calendar in their backpack? I used to keep an agenda, but not a calendar. Well, I guess it had a calendar in it, but yeah, it was called an agenda. We had dictionary. I don't know, I guess, yeah, maybe. I had a Bechamel, but I don't know. I had a French-English dictionary. I guess things are different with like kids these days. I don't mean that in a way like, oh, kids these days. It's like everything's a lot easier because, you know, your calculator, your calendar, your dictionary are all in your phone. You don't have to carry like a bunch of separate things because like everything is just one thing. It's your phone, right? Like your planner as well. Oh yeah, we called those agendas. Because they were trying to get people into like, you know, I was gonna say being organized at a young age, because they gave everyone a free agenda and they showed us all how to use it, and you know, like, you know, give yourself deadlines, write things in. But now you can just have something pop up on your phone. You know, if I was like, actually, I think I had really bad anxiety, so I didn't let myself forget about anything. And I was writing essays like the day that they were done. I'm always like that. Always been like that. It's like the second something's assigned, I gotta start working on it, and I want it done as quickly as possible because I don't want it to be like last minute and then I have to like hand something in that I hadn't been working on. Like, yeah, I'm so bad for that. I'm like the opposite of a procrastinator, even though I procrastinate some things. But like, I don't think I do pot pal. I think to some people it might look like I'm procrastinating things, but actually, like especially like with some of the jobs that I've had, you just get overwhelmed and you have to prioritize things, and it's like, yeah. And then I am still getting some things done at the last minutes, but it's because there are so many other things ahead of it that need to be prioritized that you end up you still end up getting stuck doing things at the last minute. Honestly, schoolwork was like that too, especially when I was in like university. University was wild. Like, you know, I wasn't even procrastinating. It was just, I always had like so much to do that I was just getting everything done at the last fucking minute. Like handing in assignments at like 11:45 when they were due at 11:59. Like those online quizzes too. You know, spending as much time as you could trying to like understand some of the physics, and like it was so wild. We had like physics. I'm having trouble finding pencil. Hang on. Pencil. There it is. Yeah. Our physics. So we had physics quizzes that we had to, or was it calculus? Both actually. Yeah, calculus. We had calculus fucking quizzes that we had to do online, and if that wasn't enough, it was a 15-minute time limit. So you logged in, you started the quiz, you had 15 minutes to answer all those fucking questions. And the thing about online quizzes is that you can't show your work. So you do all the work on your notebook, and you just hope to fucking God that you didn't like forget to carry a one or make like a tiny mistake along the way, because if you get that wrong, like it's wrong. It doesn't matter. Like university was a little different from college. Like I think they had, I remember calculus, actually yeah, I took calculus in college, like the exact same class. It was weird because I got like 90s. I got 90s in calculus in college, and then in university not as great. And I mean, I was learning the same stuff, but yeah, it was actually not entirely. There were some new things that was thrown in, but it was just that, like, yeah, I think it had to do with the pressure of just having to do those quizzes like online, and well, the other thing was that if you made a mistake, like I don't know, like a silly mistake where it was like, okay, you forgot to. I think it was like you forgot to round here, or something about the units, or something silly like that. You still got like, 4 out of 5 on that question. Let's just say you fucked up the units. Not that I do that very often, or anything like that, but like just for like for I guess just for the sake of explaining it, like yeah, let's just say you messed up the units. You got everything right except you forgot. Let's say you forgot that, like, I don't know, hertz. Hertz is like cycles per second. You thought it was something else per second, and you write the wrong units at the end. Like, you got the question wrong, but like you still got credit for like all the work that you put in. And and this wasn't just carbon. There we go. This wasn't just online quizzes. These were like some of the quizzes you did in person too. Like you were like just filling out, like you were doing all the work on a separate sheet of paper, and then you were just choosing like what you thought was the right answer. Not only could you put a lot of work into something and still get it wrong if you you know, check the wrong box despite of like all the work that you put in. And a lot of the times, like the other questions are like, if you were to make this mistake, sometimes you'll get lucky and you'll make a mistake, and the mistake isn't, you know, one of the answers, and then you can be like, okay, well, I did this wrong. But sometimes, you know, they intentionally put in like, okay, so if you forget to round here, then this is what the answer will be, and then they put that as one of the possible answers, and like that's how they get people. But like, yeah, you just get that question wrong, and you know, it's usually out of like 10. Like, usually get like 10 questions, and you get one wrong. It's 10% off, you know. So it was much more pressure on that. And like, I swear, I had quizzes that I would get like 50% on, and then I'd have quizzes that I'd get 100% on. And I don't know how that works. When it's like, yeah, you just mess up a question, you mess up a question. Not much you can do about it. But yeah, it's wild. The other thing that I was gonna mention is that some people could like not even understand the question, and they just like somehow pick the right answer. I don't even know how. Like, they just pick the right answer, and there's like, oh, I didn't even study. I don't even know anything about it. Like, I don't even know anything about fucking about gravity, and they'd be like, yeah, I don't know. I just picked like random answers, and I just somehow got them right. And I'd be like, man. Yeah, because I had one dude who was playing. I remember he would be playing what is that one fucking game called there? Path of Exile. He'd be playing Path of Exile the entire time during class. And yeah, I remember one time he was just like, I don't think I'm gonna like, I don't know anything. I haven't studied. I don't know anything about this subject, but this was more, I think this was a genetics class. It was the, I think it was like the second year. Ooh, what do you call a fish with no eyes? It was the, the second year genetics class, and he had no idea, and he still got like 75. I think I ended up getting like I got like an 80 something, but like, some people were so mad that he got like a 75, like, because some of the people actually like failed the test, and he just like, yeah, they studied and they worked. They worked at it, they did the assignments, you know, and then they got like 50, like 50s, some of them failed. And then he's just like, he just kind of like picked random answers and somehow got a 75. That's how it is, you know. And honestly, some people become doctors that way. I don't even know how. They just pick random questions. They just pick random answers, and they get some people just know how to take tests. I don't know how that works. That was something that my mom always said. She was just like, oh, I don't even know the answer. I just know how to pick the right answer when you're given a bunch of options. And I'm like, honestly, if I don't know, I don't know. Like, giving me a multiple choice doesn't really help. I either know it or I don't, and I am not good at guessing. I know sometimes like there were questions in Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader that, you know, you don't know the actual answer, but you know enough to be able to answer the question. And that worked for me, but like having absolutely no knowledge about a subject and being given a multiple choice question, I couldn't. Okay, diploma. I can't find diploma. My brain is like shutting off. Okay, D. There it is. Yeah, my brain just kind of stopped working for a second. Finish. Yeah, because there was one where it was like the it was like the word for noodle, right? It was A word for noodle. Finish. And then the other two words weren't even the right language. Finish. I don't know why I'm struggling so much today. Okay, here we go. Finish, and then we have gown. And then honors. H-O honors. There we go. Alright, hood. Hool. I got hool. We got hood. And partay. Party, pass, proud. Man, I got hiccups. Hiccups when I'm slightly eating a little bit too much. Maybe I should have some tea after. Alright, ring. And school. School. So at the bottom, we have speech. And then we got secus, tassel. I think I still have the tassel from my honors. I graduated with honors. Doesn't really mean a whole lot. Doesn't help you get a job any better. You just get a nice little tassel on your hat. That's all you really get. Alright, we got gym class, climbing, coach, dodgeball, yeah, exercise. Yeah, you still have to be like, I don't know, I think you have to be like that outgoing, like friendly type, because graduating with honors doesn't really help you with job interviews and stuff like that. I don't know. It's interesting because I could kind of tell. I could almost tell whether or not someone was gonna call me, like, for a job, basically, at the end of, like, pretty much any interview. Like, you could just tell. Some of them, it's kind of a weird, I'm gonna make it kind of weird, because honestly, some of them, they're just like, they're friendlier, they're engaging, they have a lot of questions, and there was a pretty much a very long period of time where I kind of knew that if I got a job interview, I was pretty much going to have a job. It hasn't been that much lately, and I think that's because they don't actually screen. I think it's because they don't actually screen resumes anymore. I think because they used to actually like look at your resume and they used to go over your resume, and at that point I think they've already decided based on people's resumes who they wanted. Now they use AI for everything, and you know what? I have like. I actually even recently had a job where where I applied to something, and I actually had a couple of years experience in that job, and it was kind of like a niche thing that not everybody's gonna have experience in, and my application was like pretty much passed up, and like within a day, and they hadn't even like looked at the resume. But again, that might be because it's like it was a job in a different city, but I would have moved. I mean, I don't think anybody like looks at resumes anymore. Like, it was pretty much like a guarantee for the longest time. And now it's like you kind of come in and like they've never even looked at your resume. I think you can kind of tell because they're like, there were a couple where they asked if I had brought the resume, and I'm like, well, don't you have a copy of the resume? And sent it to you, kind of thing. Yeah, like it was almost like they've never seen your resume before, and the person giving the interview to you, and yeah, just the kind of the general demeanor of people when they ask you like weird questions. A couple of them have asked me about like transportation, like, oh, how did you get here? And the wrong answer is I took the bus, because like the bus is actually that unreliable. You tell someone you took the bus to get to work, they're not going to hire you in this city for sure. Like that was two of them where it was like, okay, so you have the experience, you have the work ethic, etc. Like everything about you. How'd you get here? Oh, I took the bus. And be like, oh, do you think the bus is going to be reliable? And I'm like, well, some days it is, some days it isn't. And like, yeah, they don't like it when people take public transportation because it can be pretty unreliable. And like, even the job that I have now, it's like I can leave like early. I can leave very early, and I can still like get stuck. Like the train can get stuck, or they cancel trips or something like that. And then you end up being like anywhere from 15 minutes to half an hour to an hour late. And yeah, they absolutely hate it. They hate it when people take the bus. One of the funnier things was I did take the bus at one job. Actually, this happened at two different jobs. And I remember, the chef, actually it wasn't, the first time it wasn't to me because I walked to work. But the one girl was always late because of the bus. And then the guy had the audacity to say, well, so-and-so takes the bus and they're never late. And Necklace is going this way. And I know for sure that like certain bus routes, I've experienced it here now, but at the time I hadn't. But I know that like certain buses are always on time, and then other buses struggle, and I don't know why, but yeah, just the one bus won't wait for the other bus. You'll be on one bus, and if your bus is late and the other bus is early, the early bus isn't gonna wait for the people to get off the late bus. It did in my like hometown, because like there were only a few buses. But they definitely don't do that here. Like, yeah, you gotta wait like 20 minutes for the next bus to come if that happens. But yeah, and then the one time that it happened to me, it was like, okay, so I take a bus, a train, and then another bus, and they take a bus that I think it was like the 88 too. It's like it just goes in a straight line. Like they don't even live that far away. They didn't even live that far away. They just take the bus because it's like it would have been, I think, maybe a 20-minute walk. They just take a bus like down the street. And I was just like, well, that doesn't really count because I have to actually transfer. I'm actually taking a bus of like a reasonable amount of time, like for a reasonable amount of time. But yeah, it's nuts. They absolutely, a lot of places hate it when you take the bus. Alright, there we go. Dicka, Acid. We have Atomic, song by Blondie. We have Beaker. The Muppet That Does Science. Beaker. But and I said I was gonna make it weird, and there were a couple where it did feel a little weird because there was one guy after the after the interview. I think I went and sat down to grab a burger, and like I undid my hair, my ponytail, and I wasn't as like, you know, I think I might have had a little bit of a receding hairline, but it wasn't as bad as it is now. But he just like looks at me in shock, and he's like, he was just super impressed by how much hair I had. And I was just like, I don't know, man. You could just tell by the look on his face. I don't know. It was kind of a weird feeling. And then there were a couple other ones. Yeah, the one girl kept like opening up her shirt more and being weird, being flirty, and I was just like, yeah. There's another one where, yeah, there was a lot of like awkward eye contact, and she was like to like her water bottle, and I'm like, oh. And it's like, you can just kind of tell sometimes with people. And there was like another one, she kept like smirking every time we made eye contact, and then there was another one who kept winking every time we made eye contact, and I'm just like, oh. I really hope these are like, you just kind of hope it's more than just like whatever's going on in their head. Like they actually like think you might be able to do the job well, but sometimes I don't know. But yeah, the winking one was kind of weird. Like I still like am just that was like one of those things where it's like I almost didn't take the job because she kept winking at me. It was just like, especially when she was doing it when I was at work, and like, yeah, it got very weird. And she never like did anything weird to me. It was just kind of like the way that she like, I think she specifically bought me like a type of beer that I like. She like asked me what kind of beer I liked. And then I think she ended up buying it, and then she didn't give it specifically to me. It was, yeah, that was also weird, because she didn't like give it straight up to me. I think she had a stocking. I think she had a stocking that she intended for me to grab, and then somebody else ended up grabbing it. And then she was just like, oh yeah, did you get your beer? And I'm like, oh no, I got wine. And then she got so mad about it, and I was like, I didn't know, they didn't have names on them. I didn't know there was one that was specifically for me. I'm sorry. I like wine. Kind of. I mean, I don't hate it, but yeah, I'd rather drink beer. But yeah, it was just, yeah, that was kind of like, that was one of the very weird things that happened, where she was just like she was so mad about that. Like so, like visibly angry that somebody else took, I guess, the stocking that she had specifically for me, and I didn't know. Banned. Man, but I haven't had Guinness in a long fucking time. Yeah. That's the best Christmas present you can get from anybody. It's just a can of Guinness. Guinness on Christmas morning. Or you know what I like more than Guinness? The knockoff Guinness. It's called. What the fuck is it called? It's the Canadian version of knockoff Guinness. It is. If it pops into my head, I will say it, but I can't remember off the top of my head right now. It has been that long since I drank it. It does sound Irish though, and it's Mill Street. That's the brand, and the beer. It is a stout, so something stout. But yeah, of course it's a stout, because if it's like Guinness, it's going to be a stout. Cobblestone. That's what it was, cobblestone stout. That shit's pretty good. I'm sniffling just thinking about it. Some days I'll have one beer and like I'm sniffling. Golf. Alright. Oh, we're on after school activities, or I've just been yapping and like solving these on autopilot. We got Pet Squad. But yeah, just some very I've had some very, very weird interviews where you just leave kind of knowing, and I don't even mean to be like confident or sound full of myself. It's just because like there are just as many where you leave knowing they're not going to call you back. I don't know what I said. I think I said something that I either said something that pissed them off, or maybe they were doing like one of those pretend, like we're pretending that we're looking for somebody when we really aren't, because I mean there was no reason why I shouldn't have been hired, because like I mean I had experience. I was probably overqualified for the job if anything, but like you know, I didn't have, and that's one of the things where it's like I have so much like education, but you don't have like a lot of experience, and it's hard to get the experience even with the education. So it's like, okay, so do you have experience with this? And then you're just like, yes, but only under, you know, ideal circumstances. So it's like you can't really troubleshoot or anything. You don't have any of that kind of thing. If like, you know, the conditions aren't absolutely perfect for you, you're not going to know what to do. That's the things that only come with experience. And you know, especially like all the tests that we ran, I only ran them once. You know, there were some that I ran it more than once, for like when we were trying to like find a mystery. We had like a mystery organism that we had to find. So we ran some things a few times, and most things we only ran once. Like there was the lab for it, and that was it. Cooking was like that too, where it's just like, yeah, you learn how to make. So you make like soup stock, you make like all the stocks, and then you make the soups, and then you know you learn how to make a flank steak, and then you know you only do all those things once. And there were people, I don't know how they had the money to do this, but they were always practicing at home and like practicing cooking food at home. And I'm like, okay, well, I can barely afford food. It's like I can barely afford food just to eat it. How the hell are you buying all this food to like practice cooking? I never really understood how people had the money for that. But yeah, they were like practicing the recipes like at home. Like shit. Meanwhile, I was like staying after school to like I was always staying after school because they had like the second years would run a kitchen. And I was actually washing dishes for them, so I would wash dishes for them. She would give me $20 and she would give me like a bunch of like leftovers. Yeah, that's like it's actually a good way to get through school. But like, yeah, like I think they only really offered that up to people who were in the program already, because yeah, I was like fucking broke ass college kid. Man, I had this like, yeah, and I got this like big ass fucking bag of mashed potatoes that lasted me a fucking week. It was so big. And then like I got like mutton. It was like the only time in my life I've even ever had mutton. So good though. I think it had a lot of horseradish on it. It was kind of spicy. Alright, power, principle, price bill. Oh yeah, proof. Yeah, porp. I need a double O. There we go, proof. You gotta prove your work. That's what it is. And we have space. This way. Speed. And theory. And we have time. And velocity. Do 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 do. Time and velocity. There we go. I don't trust atoms. They make up everything. They do. They really do. Alright, we got in the classroom. Alright, yeah. I'm hoping that I'll get this done by 8:30. So I don't stay up too late. But worst case scenario, I might not finish. Actually, it's hard to, yeah, it's really hard to say if you're gonna finish any of those acclaim games, man. They will absolutely fuck you over if you're doing too good. They're gonna throw you in like a 3-on-1 impossible to win match just to fucking humble you and set you back, or they'll give you like fucking tag team. Oh my god, tag team gauntlets. The worst. The worst. Tag team gauntlets fucking suck. Alright, chalk and clock. I gotta find the chalk. The chalk. Chalk, chalk, chalk. Chalk, 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 chalk. There it is. Chalk and clock. The one thing that I noticed is that I think I might have forgotten to switch the game title, because when I went to go live today, Word Search by POWGI was still there, so I think I forgot to change it to Bad Cheese. Alright, computer, we got desk. Desk. Oh, I found an SK. There we go. Alright, easel might be hard to find because of the they're all common letters, but I don't see too many. Yeah, I don't see many S's. Yeah, it does spell. Oh, I thought it spelled lease, but no, I definitely fucked that up. Alright, flag. Got flag and globe. And kids. And we got locker. I got some masala chai. I finally got the right kind of chai. I drank the last of my my lychee chai, and then they're still on sale. Like they're called Tata Tea. I think they're made by Tetley, but they're like Indian tea kinds. And there's a ginger chai, a masala chai, and a lychee chai. And I made the mistake. I was just like, ooh, chai tea. And I take it back and I'm like, huh, it doesn't taste like chai tea. And yeah. Doo-doo, 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 doo-doo. Teacher. There we go. Teacher. Oh, television at the bottom. We got whiteboard. And WAD window. Like a whiteboard. Remarkable. Nice. Alright, we got clicks. Clicks not only exclusive to school. I'll tell you, yeah, you definitely know that. Work clicks are definitely a thing. And man, they even have emo kids. That's funny. Alright, emo kids. Alright, we got the fringe. What are the fringe? Like the cultists? The gamers, the geeks, the goths. Yeah, there we go. Gamers, geeks, and the goths. Then we got the hipsters. Going this way, we got jocks. It's funny because I was like an emo gamer. It was like I was like an emo gamer, athletic geek, and a loner. And I guess you could throw punk in there too. I don't, maybe not so much, because I wasn't like anti-authority. I'm just like, I question authority. And I do that often. And even that is enough to set them off. Like, it's actually kind of funny, because, like, I will just wonder why we need to do something, and that is enough to set off, like, certain people in authority who I think they're not confident in what they're doing or why they're doing what they're doing, and they feel like they don't need to explain why something is done the way it is. So when I question something, they see it as like anti-authority, and yeah, it's definitely weird. I think I've mentioned the story. Yeah, I mentioned the story where I was asked to prep a bunch of stuff on a Monday, and I'm like, wait, why? It's Monday. Why would we do that? It seems like a waste of food. And then it was like one of those like, do as I say kind of situation. Where it's just like, she was just like, I've worked here for 6 years. I know better than you. And I'm like, apparently you don't. We're not going to sell this. Like, we are not going to sell this. I was like, I'll do it, but like, we're just gonna have to throw all of this out. Just hope you know that. It's like, that was actually something I think I almost got suspended for it. Like, yeah, absolutely nuts. Alright, so there we go. That's, stay in school. Record time, 48 minutes. Alright, give me a hot second here. We'll come back. I'm gonna go to the washroom, and we're gonna play some Anarchy Rules.